Welcome back to the Keeping You On Stage podcast. Today we are honored to sit down with the incredibly talented Hailee Thomas Weber. Hailee is a nationally sought-after ballet instructor, point shoe expert, and award-winning coach known for his direct yet nurturing approach to training dancers. With a professional background as both a soloist and ballet master across numerous companies, he brings a rare blend of classical artistry and real-world expertise to every dancer he works with. Hailee has also become a leading voice in the point shoe industry and a content creator whose educational and entertaining videos have reached millions of viewers online. We are so excited for you to listen in as Hailee shares his journey, his passion for dance education, and the wisdom he's gained throughout his incredible career.
We want to talk about your background. I kind of feel like we all know you for your point shoe fittings.
Yeah.
So I need to know, how did dance first come into your life?
Well, technically dance runs in my family and I don't talk about it a lot. So all of my female cousins danced.
Okay.
Studio and dance team. And my cousin Jessie was actually like nationally ranked choreographer for, I'm from North Dakota, for the West Fargo Pacatanas. And she is still a dance team coach to this day.
Wow.
My cousin Allie kind of did the same thing on the Minnesota side of the border. And then she managed a dance store, which I ended up working at in college, which is how I got started fitting point shoes.
Right.
So it's literally a family affair. My grandma taught tap in a town of 200 people in her living room.
So cute.
Yeah. I don't know if she was good or not. I don't know if she actually taught them anything, but everyone knew my grandma for being the tap teacher in the town of 200.
Oh my gosh.
It was one of those towns where like the grocery store is also the gas station and the post office. So very small town. But yeah, I started dancing. I was like very shy. I had a lot of like, I had hip problems growing up. I walked completely turned out on the balls of my feet. I had to be in physical therapy. I had a lot of food issues. Like I wouldn't eat certain foods.
Oh, like texture.
Yeah,
like...
I have what's called RFID, which is like avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. So like, I'm 35 and I still have severe complications from it. So like, it was just another thing that was wrong, quote unquote, wrong with me as a kid. And I had a speech impediment. I didn't talk till I was 10. I was like nonverbal.
Really?
Yeah, I would only talk to like people that I guess, again, years of therapy that I felt safe around.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone was really surprised when I started doing like musical theater. But I wasn't being Hailee. I was being someone else.
Yeah.
I was also a musician. I was a cellist and a violinist. So that's what my undergrad is in. Besides dance, it's in music. So yeah, I danced because I was in a musical and the choreographer said, wow, you have really, really good feet for a boy. And I was like in middle school and I was like, okay, I guess I should dance. So
yeah.
I went to a studio, took jazz, kind of liked it, but I liked the ballet portions of it. And then my teacher, who was an amazing teacher, just happened to be in North Dakota in the middle of nowhere. And she goes, okay, you're going to take ballet. And I was like, I can't afford to take ballet all day. And she goes, I don't care. You're not going to pay for it. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have ever become a professional dancer.
Really?
Yeah. And I had no desire to be a professional dancer either. It just happened. I was taking a class and I went to college. I moved to Minnesota and I was taking an open adult class and the director of the company was subbing the class that day. And I walked out with a contract. Because in Minnesota, there's only so many guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of those, like, I was amazing. I was the best dancer in the world. No, I had a lot of flaws, but I got paid to dance for a decade of my life, and I was very grateful for it.
That's awesome.
That is incredible.
What did your ballet training look like?
So,
like when you first started?
I went from being like the middle schooler in the 5-year-old class. Like, I would be with the kids my age, but I had to take down. So I've been 6'4" since I was like 11. So it was really, really awkward. And there weren't a lot of studios in North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they're bad studios. I'm just saying there weren't a lot to choose from. But I had a teacher who had really good training in the middle of nowhere. And I auditioned, for summer programs, couldn't afford to go to anything. I was poor as poor could be. But I just loved to dance. So
yeah.
My neighborhood of North Dakota was very art centric. So we'd go to school year round. So we'd go public school in September through May. And then we'd go to performing arts high school during the summer where you would get school credit. And it was like a normal school day, but like you started 7 a.m. yoga, then 2 hours of ballet, musical theater, singing. And then you'd have rehearsals for the main stage production from like 4 until 9 every night. And that was your summers. You get like a week off at the end of it before school started.
That's cool.
That is so neat.
So it was just like a nice little arts place, and then ballet was after school. I'd go to school at 6 a.m. to have a private cello lesson with the college professor who would meet me at the college or meet me at my high school. Then I'd go to school all day. Then I'd have musical rehearsal after till 5, and then I would go to ballet from like 6 until 9:30
Busy.
every day, Monday through Friday. Saturday, either 10-hour rehearsal for the musical or 5 hours of ballet. Sunday, ballet class at noon. Noon 01, because nothing was supposed to open at before noon in North Dakota. It was one of those states.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Nothing can open except for it was like a church and a grocery store and a gas station. Those can be open before noon on Sundays, but nothing else.
Wow. You're used to being busy
Oh,
because
yeah.
you were doing it when you were a kid.
Well, yeah. And I mean, we all have interesting home lives, right? So
Yeah.
like for me, I think I was just distracting myself from a lot of stuff that was going on at home.
Yeah.
You know, we want to feel like we have control in our lives. And the only thing I could control was my schedule. So let's be as busy as possible. I was a terrible student, though. Like I was like, C's get degrees, guys. It's true.
Yep.
That's what I say to my kids.
Exactly.
Yep. My brother was very, very smart, and I had all his teachers until about 5th grade, and they would always be like, "He's not his brother. He's not his brother."
We've talked about that before
Yep.
when people like compare you to your siblings.
Yeah.
And it's not fair because
No.
you are totally different humans.
And he was like, my brother is on the spectrum. He has Asperger's. I don't know if they call it that anymore, so he didn't get diagnosed till middle school. So he was like
wow.
angel baby, perfect child, smart, ahead of his class, really good at sports. And then this middle school happened and everything, like juvenile detention, like it flipped real fast. And I went from being the kid with all the problems to being like the social funny kid during middle school. So we really kind of flipped places in a sense. So yeah, I try not to compare my students to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard
It's so
not
hard.
to, but
Yeah.
when you're the one being compared, it's hard.
Definitely
Yeah.
creates something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Was there a moment where you knew, like when you were young, that dance would be a huge part of your life?
If you would have asked like 12-year-old Riley if like everything that I accomplished would have happened, I would have been like, in what world? Because I was always at the mercy of everyone else offering me things because I didn't have, like, I watched people get where they are because their parents had money. And because I didn't have that, I was always so grateful to be in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never felt entitled. And if it came off that way, I apologize. But I truly think that everyone that worked with me as a young kid knew that I was just grateful for any opportunity that came my way because I wouldn't know when the next one was coming. So I think I was like 19 in college. It was my sophomore year. I wasn't or freshman year. I wasn't dancing. I was just being a music major. And it was when I was just like taking class for fun, when I was like, ballet needs to be in my life for me to be happy because nothing makes me happier than taking class. And then once I started getting the contracts and like company rehearsal all day and college at night, I quickly realized that I didn't like performing ballet. Like it wasn't my favorite thing to do. I loved class. I loved the ritual. I loved the structure. And to this day, it irritates me the way people take class. That people don't treat it like the meditative flow it can be and like how disciplined you need to be even as an adult or as a professional. That's my thing. I could take class all day. I could care less if I'm on stage. But musical theater wise, different. I want to eat on stage.
Yeah.
Like I want to be on stage all the time in a musical because it's not as structured.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking
It's
about
not
my
as
knees.
technical.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not like worried that like that guy in the third row notices that my right knee never straightens as much as my left. And when I was on stage, like doing Sleeping Beauty and Don Quixote, that's all I thought about was like my like insecurities with my body. In a musical theater, I never felt that way.
Isn't that interesting?
I'm loving this.
I get it. I get it because ballet is it is so technical.
Yeah.
And you really are trying to be perfect. You know what I mean? Even though
there is no perfect,
but that's what you're striving for.
Exactly. And I think with, there's the cookie cutter recipe of what a quote unquote dancer body should be. But
fine.
We all grow up with that, the hyperextension, the flexibility, the feet. And it's like, if you feel like you don't have all of those things, it's so hard on you mentally. And like, I have like weird ankles because I was like a toe walker, and my parents didn't catch it till I was like 7 because it was probably the least of my problems growing up. So that effect, like I have no plie because of it. My bone developed messed up.
Yeah.
So like I can't flex my ankles backwards. So I remember back in the day when you'd go to auditions and they would cut you after a combo, like they cut you after plies. I was cut after plies all the time because like you put me, I have beautiful turnout. That's like the perk of my body. I have like flat turnout, but you put me in fifth position, I can't. It looks like when I'm doing a plie, my legs look completely straight. So you'd have to watch me in center to know how good I was, and that
Yeah.
was so demoralizing as a kid. Just to be, I was afraid to take class with people that didn't know me because I would go up to them before class even started and said, "Hi, I'm Hailee. I have an ankle problem. Please ignore me." Because it was just, I'd get the same correction all the time and no one would move on from it. I'm like, I can't physically do anything about this. Please correct something else. And that was just walking into a room being like, I'm already less than because of the way my body is built. I can't, luckily I had good feet.
Yeah.
So I just can't imagine kids these days.
I know they're fighting
what they
for
have to
their
go
life.
through.
Okay, so I actually think that's super interesting because I've heard people say that they love class, but I've never heard people say that they love class more than performing in ballet.
Yeah, I think because I started out in musical theater where it was like super expressive and I could hide behind that character. And I did like 4 musicals a year on top of everything. So it wasn't like I did like 1, I did like 4. And it was like ballet because I was so insecure with my body. Because I took a year off. I was not very healthy with what I ate. I gained a lot of weight. I had directors call me fat to my face. Like it was bad. And I'm not that anymore, obviously. But I also went through puberty super late. Like 17, my voice hadn't even started to change. So like, you know how you go through your baby fat phase? I was doing that through college when I was dancing. Like I was in college dancing with the company, going through all these changes in my body that I had no idea. And people were commenting about it. So the stage became my nightmare. And then I had a really bad back injury. And every day I spent my whole life like going, can I get up and go to work today? So then like, if I push too hard on stage, is it going to injure what's already injured? Am I going to disappoint people even more? And all these like mental things that all accumulated when I was on stage in white tights. Where in musical theater, I ended up working at an equity theater and I would perform 7 shows a week, musicals. And once I got on stage, I was fine. But I could just release, because in my head, no one was caring how turned out I was, how high my releve was, which was always very high.
I love that.
Thing I can say. And being a guy with good ballet technique in musical theater in the Midwest.
Oh, that's huge.
Oh, like I was booked and busy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I could follow my pirouettes, and Carol Ann in the second row doesn't know the difference. But everyone in my head, everyone in the stage when I was in the companies, because I danced for every company in Minnesota, was judging me the whole time. Every person in the audience was watching me going, what's he doing?
I think it's unfortunate because it's the same way in the drill team world.
Yes.
I think it's actually super cool that a lot of the teams are bringing in male dancers on their teams.
Oh, yeah,
that I think it's so awesome.
Yeah.
But they are very much singled out though, just because
they're different.
Yeah.
One of my students was the first male dancer on the Minnesota Timberwolves team, and he got like death threats. And then this last year, they put 2 boys on the Minnesota Vikings team, and people like took out ads to like make fun of them. Like it's that bad. And I just think that's so disgusting.
It is.
So horrible.
I actually think it's so cool
Me too.
that they're adding men onto their teams.
Yeah.
It just, and the tumbling that they do.
Have you ever seen the U of M dance team, University of Minnesota, with the boy Matthew?
Are you kidding me?
He's a beast.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he works, I mean, I don't know him personally, but a bunch of my students are on the U of M dance team, and they all work so freaking hard.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're like, they're tumbling, their jumps, all of the things are.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, top tier.
You can't be just one thing anymore. You have to be all the things, especially in that world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in a sense, then I had it easy being a ballet dancer compared to them, because I can't do a back walk over to save my life.
I would break my back if I tried. No, I used to be able to. I can do a headstand and a handstand still, and beat my kids.
Those are party tricks.
Yes.
Like my party trick is left side fouettes.
Oh yeah.
You asked me at any point in time. Well, not today because I strained my back, but you asked me to do a left side fouette. 32 was like my easy for me. Right now, I could probably do like 16.
Not me.
no.
Yeah. My splits,
Left side, that's incredible.
Split's probably gone at this point, like flat split, but I think I'll get those back now that I'm venturing back into the fitness world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you have to.
I have to. I'm teaching all these like group fitness classes again.
That is so fun.
Lifetime.
Yeah, lifetime. So
how did you get into that?
I broke my back when I was 21 and then herniated 4 discs. Went through PT, took a year off of life. Life was bad.
Yeah.
And then I had randomly 1 year of my life, my year I graduated college, 6 people in my like immediate life all died within 6 months of each other, like randomly. So, and I was healing from my back injury. So to avoid dealing with that trauma, I put all my trauma into healing my back and like Pilates, yoga, physical therapy, all the thing. And I got really in shape and I went back to the ballet company. And then I was like, I'm done doing ballet. I can't do this anymore. The people in Minnesota, they don't pay me enough to put up with this crazy. And then I got in musical theater and I was so booked and busy. Like I would rehearse with a musical theater company during the day, perform with another company at night for a year and a half straight in my life. In cowboy boots, like, cause we'd switch music. So like switch musicals. So like I was in like Best Little Whorehouse in Texas and then like a different musical 3 months later. And I was just so, I never said no because I never wanted to disappoint anyone. And I could barely walk most days. I was like getting to the theater, like praying to God I could get through the show each night because my back was so bad. Turns out more injuries. And then I did a nutcracker guesting that year and all 4 of my discs completely ruptured the minute I walked off stage. And that was the last time I ever performed.
Really?
So it was, yeah.
Dramatic.
It was very dramatic, but that's the story of my life. So cut to, have to have back surgery. They cut out as much of my discs in my back as they can because they don't want to fuse it and pray for the best. I was like wheelchair bound and it was just awful. And so then have surgery, life-changing. I'll never be able to do an air bath. I can barely do a tendu to the back, but I have like side range of motion and front range of motion. And I was like, I need to get in shape because right now I don't feel good about the way my body feels and looks because I've been bedridden basically for a year and a half. So I joined Lifetime Fitness, which is like an athletic country club extravaganza in the Midwest. That's where it started in Minnesota. And I went there and I would just take any class I could, whether it was like a strength class or like a Pilates class or yoga or bar. And I would take this class that was like the dance class and it was like cardio aerobic, like nonstop 60 minutes. The teacher would just go and there'd be 100 people in the room and she was just going and she wasn't really even saying anything. You were just following her. But it was like easy. It was like easy, simple patterns. And I lost so much weight that I gained because it was so high intense cardio and you didn't even know it. And then slowly and surely I kept getting moved to the front because I was like the real dancer in the room of 100 people who do Zumba kind of thing. Not that Zumba's not real dancing, but like I was a ballet dancer.
Well, and you probably know how to pick up on things.
Like I don't need to see it.
Mind is.
And one day the teacher, she was actually on The Golden Bachelor. Yeah, she was one of the finalists on The Golden Bachelor for season 1.
Wow.
She got sick, like food poisoning as she walked in the building. And the boss of the group fitness leader, who was a Rockette, ironically.
Oh, cool.
Had been watching me take this class for like a month and came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm the group fitness manager. You're the ballet dancer, right?" And I was like 2 years ago, but sure. Because, you can never take credit for your past things. She's like, "If I have the playlist, could you teach this class right now?" And I was like, "Yeah, give me the microphone right now." Like, that is my dream. My dream was always to be on Broadway and then leave a show. And then like the day of a show be like, "Could you do the show again last minute?" That's like my dream. I've always wanted to happen. Really? So it happened in real life.
I love that.
And then I got a job and I taught cardio dance and like bar for like 6 years until I moved to Florida. And they didn't have the Lifetime in Florida at the time. So I spent 2 years not teaching group fitness. And they finally opened up a club in Orlando and I got hired on the opening team. So it opened actually today.
Yeah.
And I'm not there because my classes starts on Monday. So I've got to be back in like physical shape again. And I literally threw my back out 2 days ago.
Oh no.
Running.
Like, yeah, because that's fun. My boyfriend's a marathon runner and we live on Disney World property basically because he works for them.
Okay.
And so he does all the Disney marathons. So I always do like the 5K. So I did like the 5K and I don't run outside. I run on a treadmill every day. And after that, my calf was like knots for like 2 days. And I was like, this is going to go away. And then my hip was on fire one day.
No.
And then my back was, and now my calf is fine. But like my SI, I went to the chiropractor, my SI joints inflamed. It'll be fine. You just need a minute. Hopefully by Monday, I'll be able to do the splits again. That's how we got here.
Yes.
That's how we got here.
Yes.
Have you ever done high fitness?
Well, no, but people talk about it.
You need to take a class. You would love it.
Explain.
It's high intensity, like cardio
/ dance.
It's choreographed movement.
I know because in Florida we have fly dance fitness.
Okay.
Which is like that. It's like
yes.
choreographed to a song.
Yes.
Dance, but there's lots of fitness aspects to
yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not like as much dance, I would say, but it's like choreographed workout movement. Like every song, that's what you do. Anyways, it started here in Utah and it is my go-to, and you would love it. I know you would.
You would be so fun in one of those classes.
Yes.
It's like
there's lots of woo-woos and like it's so fun. So find a class by you. I know there will be one. Yes.
I get compared when I'm on the microphone at Lifetime. I get compared to Cody Rigsby all the time. That sassy guy from Peloton.
Okay. Yes.
Because I was like, "Come on, girls, we're gonna get our ex-husbands back," or like that kind of stuff. That's me on the mic.
You would love this.
Like completely different person than Riley, the ballet teacher. Like people are always like my students sometimes will get into my class at Lifetime and they'll be like, "You're a different person." Yeah, turn your legs out, girl. Let's go. Like, time and place.
I'm like, who is this?
Well,
especially from a ballet dancer. Like, ballet dancers are very reserved.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
And I mean,
going to a fitness classes.
And I just was like never a fitnessy person until Lifetime. And then moving to Orlando, there was nothing else to do. So I did Orange Theory. I still do Orange Theory. I love it. I'm going to still continue to do it every day because I wake up at 5 a.m. to go do it.
Like, my mind is just doing this.
I know. I have a million questions.
Circles.
You don't want to know my stuff. It's so weird.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's so fun.
Do you sleep ever?
So, I wake up at 5 a.m. My boyfriend and I wake up at 5 a.m. He does a crossword puzzle. I play Fortnite on my Nintendo Switch until my schedule's to a T, till 5:35. Then I go upstairs, make the bed, change into workout clothes. He changes his workout clothes. We take our separate cars. He goes to his gym. I go to Orange Theory. We both come back. He goes to his 9 to 5. I do social media all day and then teach a couple ballet privates. And then we're both home at 6. And then we make dinner. We watch one episode of a TV show and then we go to bed. We're like an old married couple. If I'm home in Orlando, which is usually generally Monday through Thursday each week. And then either Thursday night or Friday morning, I fly out to do this kind of stuff.
My goodness.
What a crazy but fun lifestyle.
So fun.
Yeah, I'm never in one place. I'm never home longer than 2 weeks at a time, which is great for me.
Do you like that?
I do. It was hard because when I moved to Florida for a job, I ended up quitting because it just wasn't what it was supposed to be. I had lined up like, I'm going to travel back to Minnesota to teach because ballet there's so much more dance there at a caliber that's, I think, unprecedented.
I think that sounds right.
That sounds right. So that was like my escape plan from this job that was just making my life miserable, was like my friend said, I'll fly you back. You can stay with your family. I'll pay for the flights and you can teach like all your living in 1 week and then fly home because I have to live in Florida for my boyfriend. And so that was kind of just the plan. And I was going to figure out life from there. And then everyone's like, "Oh, you don't work for that job anymore? Will you come to our store and do point shoe fittings?" And I was like, "Okay, why not? I mean, I can." And then just turned into this like movement, if you will, of like, where is Riley? Where in the world is Riley at this point? Because he's in Minnesota. Now he's in Canada. Now he's in LA. Now he's in New York. Oh, wait, he's in Orlando for a hot second because he's at Disney World. Wait, no, next week he's here. And what I post on social media is like a month or two behind where I am right now. So like all the videos I post on TikTok are from months ago because I have so many and I don't want to like flood the internet. So people never know where I am and I love it.
And that is nice.
I know. It is nice.
I love that.
I just
so
love
much.
how, because I didn't know about you. I think I found out about you from my staff, actually.
Yeah.
And they were like, we should bring Riley here. And so then I, of course, followed you. But they are obsessed with you. They love you. And everyone that has come, you've been here for 2 days. You'll be here another day. Everyone that has come in has been so excited and like honored, I feel like.
Which is so weird.
Yeah, but I think it's because like you've been in this industry for so long and you know what you're talking about. And so I think they really respect you too. And that's actually really cool. You know your trade and you're really good at it.
Thank you. I mean, everyone has their opinions, and I've never verbally said that I'm the best point shoe fitter in the world, and I never will.
No.
Because I think the minute you start saying you're the best is the minute you stop your ability to grow.
Yeah.
I think the
I love
ballet
that.
world is so behind closed doors and everyone gatekeeps everything. And everyone thinks you have to be a certain way to do ballet in general, let alone fitting a point shoe. Where I've always presented myself to the world as Riley Thomas Weber is always Riley Thomas Weber. I will be myself 100% of the time because I've spent so much of my life trying to make other people happy. So when I became my own brand in a sense, I think that's when I kind of blew up again on social media because I was instead of being like, oh, how do you feel about this shoe? Do you think this hurts? I was like, girl, that's busted. Like, we all know this is ugly. Let's make you look prettier. Because that's how I talk in real life. And I think just being my authentic self, like, opened a lot of people's eyes to ballet. And I'm so honored that so many people, one, want me to help them. But I get really honored by the messages and comments that are like, you're the reason I started dancing again.
That's cool. That's what really matters, honestly.
Yeah.
Helping people. Okay, so we already talked about how you got into point shoe fitting just at your job.
Yeah.
At an actual store.
Yeah. So Minnesota, again, is people need to get on their level. There's still a huge chain of dance stores called Step and Stretch.
Okay.
And they have 3 locations. They do a lot of like dance team, like kind of what you're talking about. Because there's so much dance team in Minnesota. Yeah. And my cousin managed them. She worked for Victoria's Secret corporate at one point and then ended up going back to working at the store. And I was like, girl, I'm a professional ballet dancer making $275 a week in 2008. Like, and going to college, I need a job. Yeah. So I worked at her store until I moved to St. Paul. And then I ended up leaving there to work at a ballet only boutique that was just like the point store because it was down the street. And then I worked there for like your staff was surprised when I was like, oh yeah, when I had to work at a store, they're like, you worked at a store like us? And I was like, yeah, how do you think I started this? Like, I didn't just walk in and I had to get the hands-on experience. Yes. Yeah. So I think that's where you really learn to grow. But yeah, no, I did that for like 6 years. And then I was a ballet teacher and that I would go with my kids to the stores. Yeah. Because I don't trust anybody. And now I do. But like, it takes time. Like customers have to get used to fitters. So I would go with, and people were always afraid when I'd walk in because they're like, oh, he's not going to like the way I fit. And I'm so much more chill about it than people think. Like, I'm like, oh, cool. Could we try it narrower? That was the extent of what I would do. And then, yeah, one day I was literally bored on TikTok. I was bored in California. I was in a relationship that wasn't going anywhere, but it was in California. And I needed something to do when I was visiting because he had to work all day. And I started making funny TikTok videos about like my opinions on point shoes. Like, if you wear this brand, you look like a busted, like just funny stuff like that. And they went viral. And within a week, I was being flown across the country by major ballet shoe companies interviewing me and wanting to offer me jobs.
That's so cool.
That is so neat. You are just amazing. I'll just sit here and like eat this up.
Sometimes I do need this because my boyfriend keeps me very level-headed.
No, this is amazing. Honestly.
Does he ever come with you?
No.
Because he works full time.
He works full time. So he is very, very involved. What he does is magical at Disney. He really does create magic. He does, I'm going to get it wrong, but it's something to do with designing hotel renovations and like project managing the teams. And then sometimes if like someone's going to sue Disney, like if one of the contractors is going to sue Disney, he has to go to like Disney court and yeah, he's amazing at what he does. He lives his dream, which was always to be a high up at Disney World. And he did that before he was 35. So I'm very impressed. And we get each other in a way that no one else does. Like, we're very like, we jab at each other, and that's my sense of humor. Like, if you know me, you know Riley's going to say something sassy. He says it right back. And that's how awesome. That's how I knew we were perfect for each other. That's but yeah, awesome. Sometimes there are a couple trips he's like, oh, I really wish I could go on that. But the nice thing about what I do is I make my own schedule. He can't to an extent. Mm-hmm. So he saves all his vacation time so we can spend a month together in Europe every summer.
That's great.
Wow, that's perfect.
So it's more important that he saves it for that. Yes. So than going to like Tennessee.
Yeah. Or Utah.
It looks cute.
It is cute.
I mean, Utah has the greatest snow on earth.
Yeah.
And there literally has been no snow.
No snow.
But dirty sodas. I'm
know.
obsessed.
They're so good, aren't they?
I thought they were a joke. I mean, mine's sugar-free though.
I know.
Because I can't. But I'm finding out all these like Utah things that I'm obsessed with.
Yeah, he's been making fun of me all day with how I talk.
No, because your accent, you say words wrong. Instead of heels, you say hill.
We are very, yes.
Like instead of nail, you say Neil. I don't know.
No, I said Nell.
You just said Nell.
Nail.
I was in speech therapy for 10 years. So
okay. You're the professional. We get it.
Okay.
Utahns are very much.
Yeah, we have like a sling.
It's Midwest adjacent because I can turn them. How do I do it? The Midwest on. God, yeah, I can turn the Midwest on, but like, so your accent kind of sounds like a weird dialect of this.
Okay, yeah.
Like it's a little more California meets this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
we
North
don't
Dakota.
enunciate our words in Utah, so it's very much
mountain,
lots of R's,
milk,
lots of R's. I feel like you put R's in
mountain,
mitten.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been a joy listening to you speak all weekend.
Gosh.
I
feel like we've been friends forever.
I know you got in the car. I gave her a compliment. She goes, "Oh, that's very nice of you, but that's not true." And I was like,
I'm curious. What was the compliment?
Her skin looked great.
Yes.
It was like glowing, and she was like, "Well, that's very nice of you, but it's
very nice of you."
She does not
do.
We're gonna build you
up. The credit, because I've told her before that I'm like, your skin looks.
We're gonna talk about skin. We need to talk about Brooke's skin.
No,
I don't think Brooke has ever had a blemish in her whole life.
Not true.
It is true, 100%.
Not true, but
I'm serious. Tell me the exact truth.
No, I swear I've had
one,
maybe a few.
It's this dynamic is giving your Lisa Barlow and your Meredith Marks from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. No one.
Maybe we should start.
I know.
No one watches that because I've been so excited to meet the housewives because I watched that, but they're like, we don't care about them. We care about the Mormon wives, and I'm like,
I know.
I tried to watch the first season, couldn't get through it.
Horrible.
But that's what I think of Utah.
Yeah,
like,
that's not.
Like, not that I know it's
so
not.
Bad.
Like,
it is so bad. I know, but that is not. That is so crazy. That is not normal. That is not Utah. No. That is just a really
extreme.
Really extreme. I actually do agree with you, though, that the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is a little bit more entertaining for me. Than like the Mormon Wives, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Like I feel something like when I watch Mormon Wives, I feel there's something gross in a sense about, not that they're gross people or anything, it just makes me feel icky, where I'm like, Housewives is like, this is fun, oh, they're silly,
they're
just like so silly,
and call each other out or whatever, like it is very much.
You got upset about that, oh, you're feeling like your feelings aren't being validated, so then you like threw a table. That's funny.
Yes. That's not Utah. That's not Mormons. That is so
I love
extreme.
The Mormons I've met. I've gone on plenty of dates with Mormon men who still have wives.
I bet so. Honestly, no, I'm being that. I bet you have. Yeah. I bet you have. It's
my thing is just be who you are. Just hide it. Like that's what bothers me is when people hide things.
It's
just if you are this way, just
I think that's why you are so successful in what you're doing is because you are, like you just said, 100% Riley.
Thank you.
And people love that. People love authenticity.
Yes. Yeah.
And not the fake, not the hiding behind, which I do. Like we've all done it.
And I do it in different senses.
But
in this,
people love authenticity because I think it's just not.
It's refreshing.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just now, I obviously I worked for a brand at one point. That's where some people know me from. And I was hired by that brand to be myself. But then once I became very successful at being myself within that brand, it was, okay, now we don't want you to be yourself. We want you to be, literally want you to be the polar opposite, and everything you morally stand for out the window. So I had to kind of stop and evaluate myself after a while because I couldn't recognize who I was anymore. And that's when I knew I needed to leave. And that's when I promised myself I will never be less than myself again.
Yeah.
Because I don't deserve that. And I don't want people to see a version of me that I'm not proud of ever again. And I will never stand by someone I'm not proud of anymore. Because my integrity is worth more than any dollar amount.
Yes, absolutely. That's really cool.
That is.
That's really neat. And I think more people, not more men need to hear that. You know what I mean? But even just everyone in general.
Yeah. I think when you, I don't know, working for a corporation, if you will, that's like the dream, right? To have the nice paycheck, the office, like the glamour of it all. But to be in control of my own schedule, to say that I get to go here and there, I can wear what I want, I can speak to who I want. I'm not being told, I was told, don't talk to this person. Stop being so friendly. I don't want you looking approachable. And I'm like, I was that person before I had this job. Why would I change that? You literally hired me off of my social media.
Yeah.
So I will never take for granted what I gave up for those 2 years of my life working that job. Because I had a great life before the internet of being a full-time ballet teacher and fitness coach, where I did make my own schedule. I just didn't put it on the internet. And then going away from that and working the corporate job and then being like, this is not for me. And then there was like a 3-week period where I go, did I make the right choice? For the first time in my life, I have a week off where I'm not working. I know where my next paycheck's coming in, but it's not for another month. I'm not getting a paycheck every 2 weeks like I was before. What am I doing with my life? I was very, very depressed because never in my life have I had 3 weeks off. So even when I had my back surgery, I was back in the studio, like standing in a back brace, teaching with my hands.
Yeah.
Because that's the dancer in me. So to have like quiet time to be and not feel like a failure was really hard for me. And even when I'm on vacation now, like social media, the way it works, I mean, I'm getting paid consistently every second of every day. So like if I'm on vacation, there's still a constant stream of income coming in. So I've learned to finally be able to relax and have a day off I have a day off in like 3 weeks. I'm so excited. Going to Disneyland.
Good.
Yay.
That's perfect.
You deserve it.
You do.
You
do
deserve it.
That is so fun.
I know. Okay. So I'm with you, like your life is on social media.
Yeah.
Everything. So do you feel like how do you handle the haters?
It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning, I got compared to Josephine Lee, who's another internet fitter, which one of my favorite people in the world.
Yeah.
Like people think we don't even know each other and we like talk. Like we text. When I got my job, the corporate job, I called her before I had my first interview to be like, do I do this or do I not? So people always compared us, and that was kind of hard for me, but she's really good at being like, people talk crap. She said to me, she's like, people say what they want about me all the time. I had to learn to not listen real fast, and it was super helpful. So I still have trouble with that because people will say what they want to say. People think I'm a millionaire. Like, oh, I'm not donating enough to this cause. I'm not donating enough to that cause. And I'm like, okay, I'm not that famous guy. I'm like, I'm doing what I can. But I mean, when people go out of their way to make a TikTok about me, that's hard. That was hard because people will do that now. And I see it every once in a while. Like I'm a sellout because I did a paid advertisement. It's like, I got bills to pay.
Yes.
Like that's how this social media thing works. And I think because whether I like it or not, I'm an influencer and a content creator. Mm-hmm. So people are going to have their opinions. But what I struggle with really the most is I will not put any of my fittings online if it shows the person I'm fitting in a bad light. And in the dance world, everyone has an opinion.
Yes.
And I sometimes have the most beautiful fittings with someone with quote unquote bad feet or not the greatest technique, but they're there to get help for their shoes to help better their technique. But that's not going to stop a million mean comments on those videos. Right. And I know that that person I'm filming, because they signed a whole thing, is waiting for that video and is going to look at those comments.
Right.
So that's when it's really hard. And that's when I'm like, it's not worth it to post this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will never put anyone in a position where they're looking bad. I would rather look silly than them look bad. So that's hard when it's an adult coming for a child.
Right.
I don't tolerate that. So
no,
that's hard. But luckily, there's so much more positive than hate in what I do because I feel like what I'm doing is just ASMR for a lot of people and like relaxing because the majority of people who follow me are not dancers. I get that a lot. And
really,
that is so interesting. I never would have thought.
Yeah, no, it's all people say. I don't know why I love your stuff, but I just do. Like, I don't have anything to do with ballet. I don't have anything to do with that world, but I just love watching your videos. And I'm like, I'm so thankful for it because obviously it paid for it pays my bills.
Yeah.
But the fact that I can be like, it was my Uber driver in Chicago a couple months ago when I'm just taking a 6 a.m. flight at a ballet competition I had to be at, and then had to fly to go teach a ballet class literally that same morning. And I'm like half asleep, 6 a.m. in the Uber. And he's talking to me, and I'm like slowly talking to him. And he goes, "Are you the point shoe guy?" And I was like, "What?"
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, I
That's
knew your voice.
cool.
My wife falls asleep to you every single night. And I was like, okay, that's cool. It's like, I laughed about it. And then he starts telling me in detail about an episode of my show, as he called it, and described in detail, like, oh, he couldn't get that shoe on. I remember she had that weird, like, pinky nail. And I'm like,
my gosh.
this bro's real invested.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Those are like the cool moments. Or like when Sarah Jessica Parker followed me.
Are you kidding me?
Kristen Chenoweth followed me last week. I was like,
so cool.
I was like, girl, Kristen.
You're like, I made it. Yes, you will. I know you will. And it's because you're you. That's the thing. It's because you're you.
Thank you.
And everyone loves watching your videos because it makes you smile. Like, you just smile and, you know, it's relaxing.
Thank you.
So I love it. Okay. So we're going to shift back to point shoes for just a minute.
As much as you want.
Okay. So point shoe fitting is something that we're super passionate about here on stage.
Yeah.
But for somebody that doesn't understand or doesn't know about point shoes or just doesn't have the knowledge what actually goes into a proper point shoe fitting, what are the biggest mistakes dancers or parents or teachers make when it comes to point shoes? What are you seeing
nowadays? Well, I think I've contributed to a lot of problems because there are a lot of backseat fitters now because they'll watch what I do and then they'll come in with their kid, which there's a blessing and a curse to that, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest red flag I see is I want mine or I want my kid's perfect fit. That is like number one. And the minute that sentence is said, I turn into a different person. I go, let me lecture you for 5 seconds because it's an ever-changing thing. You are fitting a shoe on a person on a certain foot at that moment in time. And that foot there's a lot of things that change hour to hour. You know, your feet are a different size at the end of the day than they're at the beginning of the day. So you're doing your best to fit that foot at that time. And a lot of times the shoes leave that are really, really great. But then we don't know how, as fitters, we don't know how they dance really.
Yeah.
I see them for half an hour. It looks great in the store. They might not have the strength to really dance in it. And you can look really good in a shoe for 30 minutes and then not be able to dance very well. So I think people have it in their head that someone is going to make their whoever the shoe is for perfect for them, and that's going to make them the best dancer possible. And it's a tool to help you.
Right.
And yes, that tool can get in the way of things, but there's so much emphasis on the shoe being the problem now instead of the dancer. Where if you think about it, back in the day when they didn't have all the options we had, you made it work and you succeeded based off your work ethic and your talent and your ability. And now there's so many ways we can blame it on the shoe instead of us. And again, there are shoe problems. Yes. Not saying that at all.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier to blame the shoe than yourself.
Yeah.
And I think
for sure
that's the biggest problem. I think if to put things on fitters, okay, so these are things that I think fitters are doing wrong. I think fitters are fitting. I think there are stores that don't realize you shouldn't hire that 14-year-old to fit the point shoe. Like, she may be great and doing the best she can and will be really good one day, but
she should not be doing that
at
alone.
14. Yes, at 14.
Yeah.
And I'm not insulting any 14-year-olds that are good fitters. I'm just saying
they probably don't have the experience.
Yeah. And every store I do truly feel like is trying to do the best they can with what they have and who they have. But if you're a store owner and you're like, oh, she can fit this shoe, just put it on. Like, don't have a store if you're not going to invest in people who know how to fit shoes. I think that's a big problem. And COVID, unfortunately, wiped out a lot of stores.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people are doing the best they can to recover even 6 years later. But I think that's something stores can really think about is like, okay, these are the faces of my company. These are the faces of my store. Because if I'm the store owner, I'm probably not there every day. Or if I am, then people know that. Like but there are a lot of huge stores now where the store owner's not there, nor should they have to be.
That's how my store is.
Like, you're not here, but you're putting your business and your name on the line with the people that are here every day.
Yes.
And I just implore people to think about that. Like, are you proud of the person that is fitting the shoes every day? And I really hope the answer is yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, for everyone's sake.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough world.
It is. And everyone will have an opinion.
Gosh, yes. What do you look for immediately when a dancer stands in a point shoe?
I look at to see if the shoe is complementing their line. If their leg looks long and articulate instead of just a stub, you know what I mean? Because if you're in a shoe that's just too wide or the wrong shape, you'll look like one straight line that's not very pretty. I'm looking to see if it's too big, because that's the thing nowadays is kids or dancers don't wear their shoes very tight, so then they want their point shoes loose, whether they admit it or not. There's the amount of people that tell me like, oh, I love my shoes tight, and then I see their shoes and I'm like, girl, that's a size too big. So like, it's more often than not.
Yeah. They're not like street shoes.
They're not like street shoes at all.
No.
And they can't be. You're going to get injured in a shoe that's too big, more than likely than in a shoe that's too tight. And it's just that compressed feeling that people don't like and people aren't used to. So I'm making sure that that's not happening. But then I'm also making sure that the shoes are too tight. I have to get people into bigger shoes all the time because they have the opposite problem where their toes are just like, they're in like little foot coffins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you really think that's going to be healthy for you? And then people want their shoes really, really hard so they'll last. And then obviously it's in the economy. You don't want to like go through shoes, but
every week.
But sometimes that's just your foot. So I'm looking at that, but basically to make sure that what's on their foot is making the line of their leg and their foot look the best possible.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people like, I don't get it. I don't understand the point shoe fitting is because they don't understand the line.
Yeah.
Of like how to make your ankle and your foot look like that curve. And when you're on point to make it look like you're floating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's something that I think dance training is obviously, there are great fitters who've never danced before.
Yes.
I know a couple of them. They're beautiful. But if you don't know ballet, you don't know dance, you don't know what I'm talking about. And that's what the normal person can't see. And that's where they get hooked on my videos because they're like, I don't see it. I'm watching every episode to make sure that I can see what you're seeing and I don't see it until you see ballet.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. It's kind of like a exact science.
Yes.
But it's been so cool because to watch you do your fittings, one, you are quick with your fittings.
Yeah.
But you will make sure that you get them in the shoe that's best for them. What is more important, or what should be the most important to the dancers? Should it be the look or should it be their safety?
Stability and safety. So I can do shoes quickly and fit in. I try not to do more than 35-minute appointments because then you get in the problem.
Which I love.
You get in the problem of having too many options.
Yeah. Well, even after like 15 minutes, it starts to get that way.
Yeah.
Like too many options. And then they're like the one girl today was like, I just have too many options. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Or was it yesterday? She's like, I can't decide because there's just too many.
Yeah. And it's probably multiple today and yesterday. And the nice thing about going to stores is the first thing I do when I walked in here, I wanted to see your point shoe room because I wanted to quickly memorize what you have in your store. That way I'm not thinking of things that I'm not going to be able to have access to. And if there was, I would have it ordered.
But, and he did. He was like, you need to order this and this.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's make it happen.
And she did. It was great.
Yeah.
So, but once I know the parameters of what I have to work with in that moment, I can go, okay, you clearly need a more tapered box. Here are my options in my head, and I go right there. Or your shoe isn't flat enough; it's too high of a profile. Okay, what are the flatter profile options I have here at On Stage at this moment in time, and then what can I get if they don't have that?
Yeah.
So that's what makes me really, really quick, if that makes sense. But I think
does.
There's so many problems that come when they have too many options. Like I said earlier during one of the fittings, it's like dating.
Yeah.
If you don't spend enough time on one date, on a couple dates with one person, you'll keep going on first dates with like 25 people. And then you're missing out on great opportunities to get to know these people better. And I mean, these kids nowadays, they'll wear a shoe. The next one, they'll try a completely different shoe. The next one, they'll try a completely different shoe. And I say, if there's nothing violent or like, not violent, well, I guess violently wrong with that shoe, give it 2 pairs. So you really know.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way to give it a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I actually answered that question.
No, you did. I feel like I forgot what I was going to say, but what do you hope dancers feel when they leave a fitting with you?
Dancers what? There it is. Dancers feel. What am I feeling?
Feel.
Feel. Okay, let's rephrase that. What do you hope dancers feel when they leave a fitting with you?
That is so cute.
This is my life motto. I truly mean this in every sense of the word. I want whatever interaction I have with a human being, I want them to feel, one, that I acknowledged who they were as a person, and that they felt that they left feeling like I accepted them for who they are.
Yeah.
And I think in a point shoe world, it's so hard not to feel judged. Because facts are facts. You're showing someone your feet. Like, you're showing someone your body, and you're asking someone to help you put something on your body to make it look, quote unquote, better in a very, very disgustingly judgmental industry. So I want that person to know that when they leave, regardless of what their feet look like, they mattered, and that they were worth my time.
Yeah.
Instead of like, I get so many people to be like, I have bad feet, you're not going to want to deal with it. I'm like, no, I want to help you.
It was shocking. I was actually shocked. Almost every single person has said that.
Yeah.
When they first come in, I have terrible feet.
I have all these problems.
But it's been so cool to watch you, because you make them feel special no matter what. And maybe they do have complicated feet. You know what I mean? But you have this awesome way of just making them feel special. I think, like, obviously you're wanting to get them in the perfect point shoe for them.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but the best point shoe for them at that time.
Yeah.
But like, I think the bigger picture, you are helping them feel better about themselves as a person. And so that's way more important than the point shoe thing.
Thank you. I mean, I know when the fitting is going to end within the first 5 minutes. I know like what I need to do to get it done. So then I have 25 minutes that they paid for, that they get to spend time with me, in a sense. So I like to draw that out a little more. And like, we had a girl today, like, she was dragging her feet, putting shoes on. Like, we could have been done in 2 minutes, but she had the greatest personality. Like, oh, she was so funny, and she had no idea. And I kept being like, girl, you need to be famous. You need to be at a reality show. Because we were done in 2 minutes, because it was so easy to fit her. But I'm like, I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. I mean, you're like this really funny kid, and you're clearly, quote unquote, different. You're more outrageous than a normal ballet dancer.
Yeah.
And I want to like praise that, because that's you're most people are never going to dance.
And she's being real and
she's
authentic.
Being exactly who she is.
Oh, yeah.
And I want that to be acknowledged, so she continues to always be herself.
And I loved it because she was kind of being a little sassy.
Yeah.
But you would just give it right back.
Oh, she was like,
it was so nice.
So fun. I wish I could have been here.
I know,
she's like, well, I'm sinking in this shoe. And I'm like, girl, the shoe you came in is 10 widths too wide, and you didn't say you were sinking in that, but this shoe that's fit correctly, you're sinking in. She goes, yeah. And I was like, make that make sense. She goes, it doesn't.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love that.
It was so cute to watch. I loved it. It was fun. So yeah, I love that you just make everybody feel so special.
Thank you.
So yeah, I feel like that's really important. Okay, so what advice would you give to young dancers about to go on point, or even adult dancers that have never been on point, but they're going to venture into that?
Yeah, it's definitely a learning process.
Yeah.
And I think there's such this like way of just assuming that something's wrong when something's not working out. And your first pair is going to be so exciting, but it's your starter car. It is your very first car. You don't know, you've never had a car before. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what you like. You don't know what you need. You don't know what you're missing. So go into it thinking that this is literally your starter car. You're going to have this shoe for as long as you're going to have this shoe. Don't start to think about what you don't like about it right away, because then you're going to use that as a crutch to stop you from dancing your best. Assume that it's right, that whatever you end up with, whatever decision you make with your fitter, is the decision that you're going to make for the next 3 to 6 months. And you're not going to think about the bad. You're just going to work on the dancing part. And then once that shoe is dead, that's when you can dissect. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. But if you focus too much on the shoe when you're learning how to dance on point, it's going to get in the way of your dancing. And you will be that person, because I'm trying to develop a generation of people that don't blame the shoe for everything.
Yeah.
again, the shoe can get in the way. I will say that again a million times, but this generation of people, adults, children, dance moms, dance dads, it's so much easier to pass the blame on the shoe than the dancer. So just know that it's going to hurt. It might not hurt at all. Everyone's pain tolerance is different.
Yeah.
But you adjust that later.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be that person that blames it on the shoe, especially when it's your first pair.
Yeah, that's such a victim mentality.
And I feel that's what I'm seeing more often than not. That's really strong. It's really hard to break from people.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It's
so
like,
why not teach it when they're young?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, hey, you need to take control of your actions. Like, you need to do
Yes.
something about it instead of blaming it on other things, like your shoe.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of people that come in today and be like, my last fitter said I'm really tricky, and it was none of the fitters here, and it gives the dancer this like mentality that they're the problem.
Yeah.
So then they start trying to fix their problems, which creates other problems. Where a girl today, she goes, I'm going to be probably here for 2 hours, and I was done in 7 minutes. And the mom was like, "What? How did we get? Wow, her feet like she came into a shoe she couldn't get over on. She's been on point for a year and a half because she was going somewhere where they were fitting her shoes that weren't helpful, but they were telling her while she was being fit, you just got tricky feet. It's like, no, they were just putting her. It's almost like they were trying to fit her so sophisticatedly, like they were giving her the iPhone 17 Pro Max when she doesn't even know how to read yet. So teach her how to read in this shoe, and then you can go to this fancy dancy one. And the minute you put her in that shoe, she had beautiful technique. It finally accentuated how beautiful her technique was.
Yeah.
It was insane to see the difference.
Just giving instant makeovers all day and just solving everyone's problems.
But that's the thing. I will say this publicly. The problems that I'm fixing Utah, they're not real problems. And the solutions were like the shoes I'm fitting here, like you have so many models, but I'm fitting models that I don't fit often when I travel because the shoes I'm fitting are usually the models they've already tried. The ones coming to me have tried every models except for the most common ones. So when I put the most common ones on, they're like, oh my gosh, it's fixing all my problems. And I'm like, everyone's trying to get too fancy. Like, I don't need a fancy spread. Like, you're like, what do you want to go to this restaurant? I was like, no, give me Jersey Mike's.
Yep.
I love that.
You got to have Jersey Mike's first before you can have like the French baguette.
Yeah, exactly. How do you feel about dancers having 2 different types of shoes and like rotating?
I don't hate it. I don't have an opinion on it one way or another unless it becomes a problem. Mm-hmm. So like I would say if you're training in Freeds, which Freed of London, which are shoes that the professionals wear that die really fast, there's a balancing technique that goes along with that shoe in a sense of like these shoes theoretically help you in the technique. It's not true, but it's pushed. So if you have Freeds, they die really fast. So it's nice to have a shoe that's similar that lasts longer. So alternating between like a Suffolk and a Freed, totally support. If you're going from like a really tapered Russian shoe though to like a really wide block shoe, that's dumb. Like they should be, if you're switching between shoes, they should be comparable to each other so your body gets used to it.
Yeah.
That's when I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like the girl today, I was like, oh, you're going to PNB? Okay, let's try this. Okay, this Freed looks great. If it doesn't last, okay, now you're gonna be in the Suffolk because it'll probably last longer. She took both.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's not gonna affect your dancing that much as if you went to like a very tapered like 3007 Nikolai.
Yeah,
like that would be very different than like a Sheffield or something.
Yeah. Okay, last question, and then we're gonna do a fun lightning round.
Lightning.
Yeah. So I want to hear your opinion about gainers. I know I asked you this week. But in Utah, point shoe culture in Utah is
something I've never seen, and I don't agree with it. I don't agree with what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, and everyone has their opinions, and I know that's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like everyone feels like because I danced, I'm qualified to fit point shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's such a funny thing about gainers here in Utah.
Yeah. I've never
Please tell me about like how you feel about them.
So if you don't know what gainer mittens point shoes are, they're their first ever synthetic polymer shoe, plastic, if you will, shoe. And I was a gainer hater, very much so.
Yeah.
Because I was a Freed girly for life. Like Freeds are nothing else. And I was doing a teacher training in New York, and Gainer was one of the sponsors. And now my friend, she's my friend now. It's funny. Her name's Maria. I was obsessed with her. She's she owns Label Active, which is like a dancewear and like fitness brand.
Oh, cool.
was working for Gainer at the time, and she came and like gave a lecture on Gainer to all the teachers, and I had all the snarky comments. And I would ask her all these questions that were very pointed of why I thought the shoes were terrible, and she'd come back with like a very honest answer. And then I asked her one day, I was like, my last question she couldn't answer. She's like, no one's ever brought that to my attention, and I got so much respect for her, the way she handled all of that, that I started to learn more about the shoes, and I was like, okay, so the problem, the false narrative of plastic shoes are that they're cheater shoes because they pop you up to point, because they're molded in the position on point.
Right.
So it's kind of the opposite of a normal shoe, where a normal point shoe, when you're standing, it's flat, and then you're standing on a flat surface and you're using your arch to bend over and get up on the shoe. A Gainer, when you're standing, you're pushing against the shoe because it's trying to pop you up. It only does that if it's fit too hard. So with a plastic shoe, you want it to be feel completely broken in the minute you wear it, because it's not going to change.
Yeah.
Well, people didn't know how to fit Gainers, so they would fit them really hard because they were in a hard Russian shoe, and that they would give you, they would pop you up. It's 100% what they would do. You didn't have the strength to control it. So there was all these fitting errors, and Gainer really didn't, and I love Gainer, but at the time, they didn't really do a good job of saying, you're doing this wrong, people, because no brand wants to do that to retailers. Like, you're doing this wrong. And they should have, but it probably would have done more harm than good. So they just educated people as best they could without calling out it's a cheater shoe because you're doing it wrong. So I even made TikToks in the beginning when I was on a TikTok journey about how much I didn't like Gainers, but they're very cost effective, first off. And when they're fit correctly, they really do work. They really, really do. And I think a lot of places around the country hate them because they have that false narrative. And Gainer has come a long way in their shoes. And now all these brands have their version of a Gainer, but Gainer still gets all the hate. Block has a Gainer, so Dance has a version of it. Nikolai has a version of it. And no one gets crap except for Gainer. And Gainer had like a big fwapu during COVID. They like moved factories. The shoes weren't the same. They've publicly apologized for that. I was in like a point shoe seminar as working for a brand. I watched the Gainer grow. It was the most beautiful speech I've ever seen, where she goes, to point shoe fitters, she goes, I'm sorry that this is what happened.
Wow.
This is what happened. And I'm sorry that the message wasn't conveyed and we let you down. We're here to fix that. And they took full responsibility for it. And now they're coming out with shoes that are similar to what they had before COVID. So I don't think they're cheater shoes. At the same time, do I think every single person in your studio should be in a Gainer Minden or a plastic shoe? Absolutely not. I think that's a red flag. I think for most studios, if you're all in the same exact shoe and model, that's a red flag. In Utah, my gosh, it's not even Gainer, it's like Gainer adjacent. Like, I've never seen so many plastic shoes in my life, but I've also never seen so many plastic shoes fit terribly. Utter, like, nightmare. Like,
That is scary, like, actually. Yeah.
This poor girl who just thinks she has bad feet. She was in a plastic shoe. It's a Duval, which isn't a terrible shoe. It's made by Sancha. It's basically the Gainer dupe. At least a size and a half too big. And I was like, what? And she's like, that's what the store said. That's what the store fits. That's what everyone does at this store. And I was like, and again, I'm Riley Thomas Weber. I'll call you out on that crap. I don't care who you are. I don't care if I offend you. That's wrong. Like, you can't, like, if you're not a store that sells more than one style of point shoe, you're not a store.
Yeah.
And then if that's the one point shoe you're going to sell, fit it correctly.
Wow.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I love you for saying that.
No, that's
seriously.
Like, I'm Riley Thomas.
Yeah.
Remember, I will say things, and if it ruffles your feathers, that's great, because it's bothering you for a reason. If I'm saying it and you're the person offended by that statement, there's a reason you're offended, because you disagree with me. And if you disagree on that statement, that you should provide multiple different kinds of models and brands to fit people with, and then you should learn how to fit them well. If that bothers you, you're bothered because you're the problem.
Yeah. Right. Yep. I love that. That's amazing. I love it.
All these fitters, we're all friends in the country. Like, we all know each other. We're all supportive. But like, we all call each other and be like, I just got the worst fitting from so-and-so. And a lot of times it's like, how do I tell her? Like, how do I tell her that this was like my friend, I'm not going to name her name, but she was with me the other day. We're hanging out. And I was like, okay, I got to show you this fitting. It came from your store. My friend sent it to me and she's felt really bad. She didn't know if she could tell you about it. And she goes, that came from my store? She goes, I'm going to figure out the date that was working, who fit it, because that can never happen again. That's how you fix this problem. You support each other in that instead of being like, you're a terrible person. You shouldn't fit point shoes. But if you don't know how to fit a point shoe and you're fitting everyone the same one, maybe you shouldn't fit point shoes.
Right.
I was
That's actually happened to me, but I got a bad review actually.
Really?
And I mean, it was like, I'll never come back ever again. And so I was like, okay, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I'm calling my employees who was here that day. We got to figure it out who it was. And we were able to figure it out. And it was just an outrageous thing. Yeah, the mom didn't really understand. Like, she was just so upset about point shoes. And she was like, I'm just going to get on Amazon and go buy a point shoe for $50. And I was like, no, okay. Go ahead. But
what people don't, and like what dance, like our reputation, like, yes, this is the dance industry and it's so big, but like one negative review really does affect the business.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of, and that's why when people come to me, like your store was the first time I've publicly been like angry at a person where I said, I don't care anymore. And it wasn't a person here that works here now. It was one of the worst fit shoes I've ever seen. And I got upset for the person. But there's so many pieces we don't know as like humans about why the shoe was fit that way.
Yeah.
And I feel like even as dancers, oh, you didn't like that shoe. Go back to your fitter and explain why.
Yes.
Don't just publicly bash them. Explain, this is why it didn't work. So that way they can help you. And maybe they'll give you more information about why you ended up in that shoe in the first place.
Yeah.
But if you're like, so-and-so just fit me, I paid all this money, blah, 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 and it wasn't good the first time, I'm going somewhere else. We need to know what didn't work so we can help you.
Yes.
Because again, maybe it looked great in that moment and then you left it in your car for a week and a half and it broke down from the heat. Or maybe you are wearing a different toe pad in that. I had that happen once where a girl said, and I was so paranoid about it. I was in Michigan and she came back the next day. Luckily I was there the weekend. She goes, I can't get my shoe on my foot. And I'm like, I just fit you in this. And luckily I recorded her fitting. And I was so like, I feel so bad when something like that happens when I mess up someone's money. And I like pulled up the video. I hadn't even uploaded yet. I had to like go through all my files to find it. And I go, that shoe. And I took a screenshot. I was like, tell me that this doesn't look too small. She goes, that looks perfect on me. I go, why does this look different now? And it took us 20 minutes to realize she would put on the wrong toe pad. We had fit her in the thinner toe pad. She bought the toe pad, but she was wearing a thicker toe pad in that.
Oh, gosh.
So it was like the funniest, but like I took the biggest size relief.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's why it's very important to continue to have a relationship with someone. Unless, I mean, like red flag, like they scare you or they cross a line in some way.
Yeah.
But you can't just say moving on to the next when something goes wrong, because that's not going to fix the problem.
Yeah.
And then please don't go on Google
and bash. Yeah.
Especially small businesses. Like this is all dance stores are a small business.
Yeah.
And it's a dog eat dog world. And now the brands are all opening up their own little flagship stores that are going to slowly destroy the industry, which do what you got to do, brands. But like everyone's just trying to survive.
Yeah, it's true. We are lucky in Utah, though, that most of the stores are like, we're very friendly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And so I do like that.
I'm just really annoyed at that one store who fit the one shoe. I will say that. You can cut it out if you want, but I'm mad about it.
I know. Yeah. Well, I hope you tell me.
If I will as a friend.
Yes, because I like that criticism helps us be better. You know what I mean? But if nobody tells you that, then how are we going to get better? Like if you're always being praised for like, oh, you're so great. But it's like, yeah, but we need some like feedback so that we can improve. One
of my best friends is Elena Landers, and she owns Dance This Way in Boston. And she knows more. Like I love Suffolk point shoes. And I would like to say that last year I've become like a very good Suffolk fitter. She's probably one of the best in the world. And she has no problem being like, Riley, because like people will fly to me to Orlando and then they'll fly back home. Like, they want the Riley experience. And it's like, okay, I love what you tried to do with this shoe, but you needed to change this to make this work. I love that.
Yeah.
Because she's my best friend. She can tell me that.
That's awesome.
And we all need, like, it was when I went from only being able to fit one brand. I mean, I fit all the brands. Then I worked for a brand. I could only fit that brand. There was a 3-month adjustment period where I was unsure I could fit point shoes because it was just getting back to like
learning all the other.
I can remember this about Block. I remember this about Capizio, but our class is here now. I had never fit Suffolk before. And now I'm like, because of that, like helpful friendliness, Like, I mean, I did get my first like almost death threat from a store in California.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
So that's what I don't like is like
Yeah.
that, like, don't come here. We don't need you. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, girl. And I went there and I had a great time. So it's great.
That's awesome.
Like, I hope you hear this.
I love that.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Well, Riley, okay, we're going to do a little lightning round and then be done. So, okay.
You're so worried about my time.
I know, but
I got nothing
I'm
else to
not
do.
joking. Like you, for me at least, and I'm sure it's the same with other stores, but like you've been fitting point shoes all day, every half hour. And so, like, I just want to be respectful of your time.
But for the record, you've been here just as long as I have.
I know, but I haven't been talking.
But you've been like dealing with.
I
I've watched what you've been doing, so don't even underplay what you've been doing.
Well, you're amazing, and so I really I'm grateful that you're here.
Well, thank
just
you.
after the long day that you've had. Okay, lightning round.
Yeah.
Where is it? Okay. What is your favorite drink?
Alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
Either. I mean, we live in Utah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Both.
Alcoholic diet orange soda. Alcoholic margarita.
Okay. Okay, I have to say, we have a dirty soda bar here.
Yeah.
You know, just like for this fun event. And with Diet Coke and Coke and all the things. And Riley, I'm like, Riley, what do you want? And he's like, well, I need like a sugar-free Sprite or a sugar-free orange Fanta. And I'm like, what? Is there even that?
Yeah,
Does that even
exist?
exist?
Here, I was so grateful.
So is that?
But I need to put out to Swig, Fizz,
Yes.
and Twisted Sugar. I think there was one of them that had orange Fanta.
Yeah.
None of them had sugar-free orange Fanta.
You won't find it. It's like a deep cut. We have them at Publix in Orlando. Because I don't really drink soda, and if I do, it's going to be orange soda. It's going to be sugar-free. So like even on like
I love it.
on an airplane, if I'm not drinking soda, I'll drink an orange juice.
I like orange juice.
Because in my head, even though it's not, it's healthier than a soda because it has all that sugar in it too.
Yeah, for sure. But I was just cracking up because you're like, sugar-free orange Fanta. I'm like, what is that even? What is
that? What it kind of drink is that?
Girl, it's you gotta try it.
Oh my gosh, I was
That
laughing.
is so funny. I love that.
I know. Okay, sweet or salty snacks during fittings? You don't really snack.
I'm not a snacker.
Yeah.
I eat a very tiny. I eat a sandwich for lunch and then I eat a big dinner. Sweet.
Okay.
Because I like gummy candies.
Yeah.
But that's like sour. I like sour. Let's rephrase that. I like sour.
Okay.
Like I always
Sour gummy candy.
sour gummy candy. I always have a lollipop in my bag at all times for anything and everything.
Me too.
You do like your
Well,
lollipops.
you did the like. I love lollipops.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it's
Favorite
one
thing.
of cinnamon.
Grandma.
I
That is such a grandma
know.
answer.
Okay,
It
everyone
is.
calls me a grandma because I love my good and plenties.
Yeah,
and
you
I love
did. You're gonna
cinnamon.
you tried. Yeah, and I poo-pooed that. I was like, no, absolutely not.
Brooke likes them.
I do like good
We're
and
grandmas
plenties, and I
together.
do like cinnamon candies,
Yeah, it's
but
good.
no butterscotch candies.
I like that actually.
I could do a butterscotch.
Yeah.
No, that is more grandma candy to me.
No, because my parents, my
Mm-mm.
mom used to own a Dairy Queen back in the day, and
Oh,
before I
really?
was born. But I like the butterscotch dip,
Dipped.
like when you
Oh,
get like a dilly
yeah.
bar.
Yes.
Like hardened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
Yes.
cherry though, the cherry. So
Yeah.
Mhm. The cotton candy. It's like this.
pecan.
Cotton candy.
Oh, cotton candy. The
like
dip.
hard shell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
yeah,
At Dairy Queen?
cotton candy. Yeah,
Yes.
cotton candy ice cream though. Girl, that child,
Yeah.
blue and pink. Anything blue and pink.
Takes you right back to being
Yeah,
a kid.
I can't have real cotton candy, but give me cotton candy ice cream any day of the week
Why can't you have real content?
because I like binged on it as a child and it
Oh.
like traumatized me. Like too much sugar.
Oh
too much
yeah,
sugar.
yeah.
That
I
is me
want a
with
cotton candy
oranges.
machine.
You
Oh
want
yeah, you're.
I know.
That's why you can't
She
do the
has a
orange
total-
soda.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That
I
was
think
so
it was
funny
at
when you're
my
like, I
house.
love you this much, Riley, to like.
I
hand you
did
a-
actually like pour
Literally,
that
like-
orange soda.
Like, you handed it to me like it was a disease.
Seriously,
I'm proud of you.
I will not peel oranges for my kids. Like they have to figure that out themselves or they pass it to my husband. I will not. I can't handle it.
I can't touch a pickle. Like pickles, it's the smell, it's the sour, it's
I
the
know.
texture.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, we all have our weird things.
Yeah, totally.
But we're normal.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
normal to be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't have to elaborate on
I
this,
probably will though.
but most memorable point shoe fitting you've ever had.
I was in Denver a month ago, and a girl came in. She was second fitting on my very first day, adult. And she started just like, she was a little more reserved. And she sat down and she like took a deep breath, and it was kind of hard for her to speak. And she goes, so I'm a stroke survivor. And she starts telling me all about her stroke and how dance has helped her get through it. And she kept apologizing, like, I'm going to stumble my words because talking is still hard. One side of my body doesn't work. And I just like held her hand and I go, my sister died of a stroke a couple years ago. And she had a stroke before she died. And all the symptoms you're having, I'm very familiar with. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. And I cried. She cried. She made a video about it. It hit like a couple million views. Like beautiful soul. And I will never forget that moment.
That's amazing. You probably just made her.
She made mine, but that's like I'm grateful that I make people's day. But I like so many people just bring me so much joy, and
you guys needed to run into each other.
It was fate. And,
yes, absolutely.
And it's funny when like that was the trip I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make, and I was able to swing it, and it was just I needed that.
It was perfect.
You're like, this is why I'm here. Yep. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Because that woman feels like she's less than.
Yes.
Because X, Y, and Z factors, when really she was probably my most important fitting of that week.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what I mean is like, it's so much more than pointy fitting. It's about like making people feel like they belong.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. You're so cool. Okay. So one word to describe dancers today. One word.
It might sound negative. All dancers or okay, dancers today. Fearful. I feel like dancers are very, very fearful in lots of ways. They don't go for things. They don't show up as themselves. They don't show up confident. They already have a list of apologies for everything that they can't do or won't be able to do, instead of just showing up and being like, here's who I am today as a dancer. Accept me for what I got.
I love that. That's so good. Okay. Brooke, I don't know if you know this, but okay. So what is something that you say always during a fitting?
Oh, God. Stuff I don't say that I stay inside.
No, like head. What is your like main thing that you say?
Go susu and face sideways.
Go susu face sideways.
I
have merch. It's in my. It's not on my. I actually forgot to link it on my website, but it's in the link in my bio and all my social media.
Is it?
Yes. Susu and go sideways. I just launched tank tops and t-shirts because I realized that people in Florida don't want sweatshirts.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Go susu and go sideways.
Yeah, and people don't know
I love that.
I love it. It has my like initials on the cuff.
Aww.
And my initials are RTW, like ready to wear. Like that's ironic. But I have two different sweatshirts. One says beret for me.
Okay.
And then I have them all in t-shirt and tank tops and a hat.
That's so awesome. Yeah. Well, we'll be getting
I know.
Some.
We need some for sure. I love that.
That's really cool.
People are always like, what are you saying? Like, go susu. And I'm like, I say susu wrong because like there's like susu with all the lingo of it. But a normal person's like, who is Sue? Like, who is Sue?
So if you don't grow up doing ballet, I mean, how would you know?
Yeah, it just sounds like you're going Sue. And I'm like, I've never met a Sue I didn't like.
My little dancer, she's 7. And I think it was this winter sometime. Anyways. And she was like, I'm like, hey, do this. I was telling her. And she's like, Mom, don't you know that's Susu? I was like, okay, yes, I do, Blair. Thank you for the
Hello.
But, yeah, she was like, Mom, I know.
Everyone knows Susu.
It's so funny. It was so cute.
That's fine. Well, actually, I do fit a lot of dancers who don't know that is.
They
shouldn't be on point yet. But
that's actually very concerning.
Yep.
But, not my problem, right?
Yep, not my problem.
Yep. Okay. Honest thoughts. What do you think about Utah?
Okay, I will say the men here are very good looking. Like every man I've seen, I'm like, they don't make that like that in Florida.
Yeah.
The women are very put together too. Like I haven't like in Florida, like we nightgowns in public. Like
that's my kind of jam.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
But
I'm moving.
Everyone has been probably infinitely more kind than I've ever anticipated.
That's great.
And there's so much food here. Like DoorDash is overwhelming. Like I would ask my hotel room last night. I was like, should I just do Chick-fil-A? Because I'm like all these fancy options.
What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, no, yeah. But I really like Utah. I think it's really pretty. And the airport's cute.
Yeah. They have done a really good job with the airport.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good to hear
that is good to hear. And I would say we have handsome men.
Yeah.
Hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, go to North Dakota. It's few and far between, but like, I mean, I don't judge a city based off how the men look. I'm very happy with my boyfriend. I made a good choice.
Yes.
But they're taller here.
Mm.
And I'm very tall.
Mm-hmm.
And in Florida, everyone's very short. So I feel like a giant leaving my house. So
You are very tall.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Well, the UPS guy, the FedEx guy came in today. I was like, oh, it's my kind. He's tall. Like someone my height.
Yeah.
Everyone's my height here. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's awesome.
That is so great.
Well, Riley, it's been so fun.
So fun.
You seriously are the funnest to be around.
Oh, thank you.
And we're really honored that you'd be on our little podcast.
You guys are
we're
wonderful.
so honored, honestly.
Like, you guys are beautiful, and I really enjoyed this.
Nice.
And it's been just such a great weekend. Well, it's not even a weekend yet, but it's been a great 2 days.
Yes.
One more.
Yeah. One more day.
One more day.
We got this.
We got it. Now we have shoes. Thanks, FedEx.
Yes. Yes. I am so glad that was like a miracle. We pulled it off. That was amazing. Okay. We wanted to share something really exciting.
Yeah.
We are now being sponsored by Shine Cosmetics.
Yes.
So we have had a ton of people ask about makeup. And so drill teams, dancers, like studios and things like that.
Yeah.
And so we're now selling it in our store just in small amounts. So you can come here and buy it. But we're so excited. If anybody wants to use my affiliate code on stage, then you can get 10% off.
Yeah.
So we're super excited about it.
That's such a good deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I wear it. I wear Shine even before they sponsored us. So
when I saw it in store, I was like, oh, you really do have everything here.
Yeah.
You've got it all.
We've been kind of a basics place for so long. I'm trying really hard to bring, I don't know, other things in, convention wear and things like that.
I think you're on like the precipice of like a huge boom that you deserve.
Well, that's very nice. It's hard to be. This is such a weird, it's so niche, a dance store. Like when I was revamping my website or building it, people were telling me, it's so easy to do online sales. You should just push online sales. Yeah. It is so hard.
No.
Like this is still the place where you have to come here.
Yes.
And I'm so thankful for that, honestly. But it's really hard because everything that I sell is someone else's brand.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's just it's really hard to do that online.
Exactly. But something I really, and you're not going to like that I'm saying this because you're going to blush, but something that I appreciate about you at this store is every single customer, because you don't see this at a lot of stores. They'll say they do, but they don't. I visually saw you engage with every person that walked in the store, and you thanked everyone for coming in today. You don't see that a lot of stores, and that's how you build those relationships. I just think that's so wonderful of you.
Oh, that's
because you like would
sweet.
step out of your office to be like, "Thank you so much for coming in today," and like actually want to know about them.
Thank you.
Because you want to know your customers, and that's
well, and I appreciate them because they're supporting my small business.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that more than the world, honestly.
And like you even like every person's like, oh, we can order it. I don't have that. I'll order it for you. And it wasn't like, okay, I don't have it. It was like, no, I'll get it for you. What do you need?
Yeah.
Like, what do you need? That is such like the way a small business should be. It's like, what can I do for you?
That's so sweet of you.
Then they'll do the same in return.
Well, I genuinely love doing that. I wish I could be here more to do that, to thank every single person that comes in.
Well, you have the farm.
Yeah, I have lots of animals and all the baby goats and
all
stuff.
The things.
Yeah.
It's another wonderful thing about you.
Riley, it's been amazing to have you here.
You are
seriously, it's
so
been so fun. So fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're the best. The end.
What an amazing conversation with Riley Thomas Weber. We are so grateful he took the time to join us and share his knowledge, experience, and passion for helping dancers grow, both technically and personally. Riley's honesty, humor, and expertise make this episode one you'll want to listen to again and again. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Keeping You On Stage podcast. If you loved this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with your friends. Keep working hard, keep chasing your goals, and never stop shining on stage. Happy dancing!